Test 1 2 3 3 2. We're live. Let's set up some stuff. Good. Okay. So welcome back, guys. This is day 55. Backtesting until I'm profitable. Thanks for tuning in. Right. So let's get right into it. 58-day streak. And I'd like to go to this power of 3. Whoa. So what's really been going on? So nothing much. I'm still doing some forward testing and seeing how the markets behave currently. After seeing that we have the Iran and Israel war at hand, but yeah, everything God will provide. So welcome to day 55, but testing until unprofitable. So yeah, let's get right into it. So I'd like to go to the Euro USD. Good. Now we'll go to the weekly time frame. But before, let's see what day we're at. We're on Sunday. Good. So I'd like to go to the weekly time frame. And I don't really want to look for much on the weekly. I just want to see how the last week's candle was and anticipate from it. So I am not seeing anything that clear so far, other except that we have an order block right here, which we retraced to, pushed high, took out this high from 2021, but we did not really, take out this low, or we did not even continue to push the upside, which means we might also react from this small order block right here. Or since we failed to take out this high after reacting on this order block, that caused the high, which means we might have this as our liquidity target. So I would look for this next week's candle to be bearish. By that means that we would have some means of pushing to the upside on Monday, and Tuesday pushing us back in the range. Wednesday and Thursday will be something like this, and then Friday, close something like this. It might even not be this big and be something like this as well. It's also possible, but I think it will be like a down close candle. Anyways, going to the daily now. On the daily, we don't see much except that we have sell side liquidity resting on this low. Oh no, SSL. I'll sell this template as SSL with sell side liquidity. And now, since we're at the daily time frame, you can see that we have a really crazy drop after this sweep, which means I'd like to see an imbalance. So the recent high that we created was this one, but starting from this high, this low, you can see that retracement might happen into these zones right here, and this zone coincides with is it another block of yeah, we have another block in here. This small block here will pass through it, which means we can retrace to OTE, then continue the drop. But let's see what the lower time frames tell us. So I'll start with the 4 hour, 4 hour, 1 hour, then I continue. So on the 4 hour, you can see we're creating lower highs and lower lows, and we kept dropping. So I'd like to go to the next day open, exactly at Asia. You can see that we have nothing much as of now. Took out this low, and this is our next target. Dependingly, we'll see how this week reacts. And then on the 1 hour, still don't have much. Maybe what I'd like to see is a run on these highs until we reach like maybe this high. So let's just wait and see. The mark, we have also equal lows, which means we have a really good liquidity resting there. So let's see what happens on this day. By the time London starts here, we've already took out Asian highs, and I'd like to go the 5 minute. Okay. Okay, there's something in here. If we show signs of disrespecting this, which means we might be about to drop. Okay, we're not even near disrespect. You can see how it looks on the 15 minute. We disrespected this gap. You can see we dropped into this. I don't know what if there's a zone, but this was some kind of liquidity generation because we have equal lows that decided to push higher. We're still in London, keep that in mind. And we still have to rebalance. By the way, I didn't mark the zones to rebalance too, but I think I can. Okay, from this retracement, I think we can rebalance. From this, I can mark it from here to here, or even from here to this low. Yeah, we can have daily equilibrium here. Daily equilibrium. Okay, now I'd like to go to 1 hour. And you can see that this day started with a push to the upside as we expected Monday to go if we want to have a bearish week. So that will be our target if we see confluences for buys. This London's over. In New York has opened. We're not seeing anything clear yet, other than this low which was taken out. How's the 30 minute looking like? 30 minute has a really good gap inside of here, and I know we're going to take out this previous day high. It's really obvious. I didn't have any clear confluences. I don't know, we took out this low, but I just wanted a retracement at least into here, because at least that will be discount, you know. So no entry for Monday. Let's wait for the next day. Good. Anyways, next day starts. So this day might be the day where we drop back to the bottom since we didn't reach this level for rebalancing. So London's about to start. Okay, London had that downward move. Okay, we have equal highs here, relatively equal highs. Take them out as New York starts. And we take out the previous day high. So in all this, there were no opportunities in the 15 minute. I don't know. 15 minutes didn't seem to like us, but we can see sell side liquidity building up. We also have some relatively equal lows here. So practically Tuesday is also ended. Let's see how this looks like. Right, we have a new day there, and we haven't reached the equilibrium level yet. We can see that Asian lows were taken out. Okay, I'm noticing something there. We took out this low, we took out the Asian lows, we took it out, we shifted structure, created some fair value gaps midway, and this might push us to take out the previous day high, and this will be like the good swing of the day, I think. Let's see how the 5 minutes is behaving here. But the 5 minute, I think we've already took out the previous day low, previous day high, I mean, which is right here. We're about to take it out. Right, we're now in New York. Welcome to New York. Okay, let's see if we get some nice price delivery. So we're about to rebalance, as I had said, but we haven't found any clear entries so far. Okay, now this is a nasty drop. It's already Thursday and no entry yet. Okay, we take out the Asians on the next day. It looks like we're about to reach our rebalance level. Take out these equal lows. We shift about. We will shift right there. I'd like to see this in the 5 minutes and see how clean this looks like. Good sweep, good shift in structure, small retracement. You would have ended off of that, but we didn't get the chance to. But right here you can also enter, and you will tell it the previous day high. I think. Even on the 15, you can see it and see how clean this is looking. Or trade the Judah swing and target some like this high or this high, a few pips above the Asian range. Okay, New York. Okay, we can see that you're strong. Right. I think this would be like some kind of OTE entry. Sorry. Mhm. From this high right here to this low, then we would have wave zone. But what I would like to see is from here, here. We have to at least reach the level. You can see we reached the OTE level after rebalancing. Which means here you can have an OTE entry and target to continue to the upside until we rebalance price. Like I think we can take that risk and enter here. Target will be, but this will be a swing trade. Rebalance price, and you just have to have a stop loss like that one, free stop loss. Even though New York might drop into it, you never know. But this will be an entry, and an OTE entry. Okay, let's see if this works out. So you can see New York of that day pushes a bit high, and this day was somehow a bit messy, but yeah, you keep in mind you haven't rebalanced it, but this will be a really crazy swing. And see, this day we had durable goods orders and some stuff like that at 8:30, so nothing of a big issue. Let's speed it up and move it like 1 hour ahead. So swing traders are really strong. You can see all of this take a whole week and still be chill. Boom. And then they get stopped out on this kind of entry. Really crazy. At least if it would have rebalanced, it would have got some, cash from it. Anyways, it was just a simple test. Let's just back to the test this day. So we haven't reached the equilibrium yet, but you can see that we're trying to push as high as we can. And as of now, I think we're going to drop. Because when I got the 4 hour, you can see how clean we took this high out, shifted structure there. My friend, we're about to drop. That will be my trade. We took up these highs as well, then dropped. It's currently 7 in the morning. I'd like to go to 15 and see how the ranges were. So we had this Asian, London creates the high of the day, then we get this big shift. Let's see if we get a retracement, get a clean one, and I think we've already even reached the midpoint OTE. Let's see, we pushed high past the midpoint, which means in this New York we would, target the downside. So what will our draw on liquidity be? Probably like this high, this low, or this low. Take pressures on this one and we target this one. With this one becoming sell-side liquidity. Okay, I'd like to go to the 15. Will be a kind of short trade. Entry there, stop loss there, like stop loss on the above the first candle of the gap, and I will target right there. I'm giving a 2.6 R on the day because we had our sweep, shift in structure, retracement to the gap, and we had this manipulation where we took out Asia highs. So I think this trade wouldn't be a bad one. And we get stopped out. Boom. 10:45. So did we enter early? And say we drop to our target later on. Oh no. Oh no. Look at this. The next day literally melts to the target. Wow. Anyways, not bad. Not bad. Good. Now we're down. Let's go to the next day. And I would like to go to 4 hour. And so far you can see that we took out this low, which means we respected this fair value gap. And our next target will be, to push higher. And with that, we'll take out these highs right there. This would be, some good drawn liquidity. Going back to daily, you can see, yeah, this is not looking, it's not looking that bad. And it's also possible that we might continue to drop according to how this candle opened. It opened, rallied higher, then started to push lower, which means we might see some dropping later in the session. Then going on to 15 minutes. Mhm, 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 mhm. How this for block respected it. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, London is playing with us. Has some really crazy wicks. So New York has already opened, and I couldn't help but notice this clean sweep, this high taken out there. This one took out the high, shifted structure by here, went back to OTE, then dropped. But I think we can also get a fair value gap retracement. You can see we have also clean fair value gap retracement. And I would, like it to continue the drop since we're 9:30, 9 sorry, not 9:30. We're 8:40, 20 minutes to 9, and our drawn liquidity would like to frame it on the 4 hour. So far you can see that we also took out this low here, and I think that we would continue to push lower according to the analysis we did on the weekly. In the weekly, we projected it to rebalance, but it didn't fully rebalance. We projected it to, drop, and have some liquidity there, some crazy equal lows, but I wouldn't base off of that. That's on the higher standpoint. My next drawn liquidity will then be like this low, these lows right here. Like I would like to target these lows here. And by targeting these lows, I think we would have filled this market maker model structure there. In the 15 now, can short this 5 minute. Let's see something inside. Enter the gap, close inside, fair value gap above the high, target the slow, and yeah, we'll enter right there because we're late. And I think that's all. I risk a half because I've lost much already, so we shouldn't be. We should also run risk management from this. Yeah. Look at all these losses, crazy ones. Let's see how this day behaves. Almost hit TP, but in the end we hit TP. Boom. Well, yeah, I've started with a little bit of heat. Then, it dropped gradually until we took out sell side liquidity. So this is what we'd like to mark out. We've had this sweep. We've got our shift inside here. MSS. Well, I'd like to mark this because some people would say this and think I'm blind trading, but I've actually seen my zones and know where to enter at. So I've got this fair value gap. You can see how plenty sweep, shift, retracement to a fair value gap, then we get a clean drop. So this is a 2.12 R. Meow. And when I go to the high time frame such as the 1 hour, you can see that after taking out that liquidity, you can see how clean price action looks. We have this kind of structure. You can see like this model. Yeah. Anyways, now we'd like to see what the next day does. I don't think we have to take any other trade on that day. On this day, I mean. Now I'll go to Thursday. Good. Go to the so small analysis before we continue. Like to go to 4 hour. You can see that we the next day dropped as well. But after this drop, we have like no big target on the higher time frame. And back to the daily, you can see that we entered into, is it a fair value gap? Or yeah, we have a fair value gap here. Entered into this fair value gap, which means there's a potential to reverse after this fair value gap, or if we don't reverse, then we might continue to drop until we reach this level of sell side liquidity. So let's see what the day does. We speculate. Yeah, we speculate, we observe, and we execute. As simple as that. Mhm. So Asia consolidates somehow, and New York ain't no joke. All right, I think we have something so far. Something. Previous daily high is waiting, but what do I see so far? Well, we took out the previous day low, the Asia lows, and this low right here. And after doing that, we pushed high, recent low, we shifted structure, it created a fair value gap internally here, which means I don't expect New York to London to manipulate, but instead to expand the daily range and give us an entry that looks like this, you know, buy and rebalance this move, target the high somewhere there. That will be like a good draw liquidity, and where you can take partials on these highs, like this one, yeah, also this one. And this will be the gap. And I would like to mark that we took out these lows, these ones right here, previous day low, and I would like to see something here in the 5 minute. You can see how I noticed it when I tried to zoom in, but you can see how we swept these lows, this shifted structure. You can see that this candle closed above the high, and after that it dropped smoothly into this fair value gap, smoothly, and then closes in the range of the gap, and then shoots. Wow, this is really nice. Now catching it on the 5 minute time frame would be like an absolute banger. Anyways, I think this will be a really nice trade. So I remove this line because we've already took out this liquidity. My next target will now be like this. We have the sweep. Now the reason I'm doing this is because uh, there's a possibility, which did I really want to use curve for it, that this is our left side of the market maker. Like after doing this drop, this might be our left side, and then we can also have like the right side of the market maker in here as well, and targeting that previous daily high. So in that case, we have the sweep, the shift on this internal high, like from Asia, this one. And now what I'd like to see is use sorry, yeah, the 5 minute to see how this candle closes, because candle closing is important. If it closes nicely and shows us potential to enter, we can enter. So you can see it's rejecting. Now I'd like to use the 1 minute here to see how it rejects. I want to see candles closing above this consequent encroachment, and if we don't, then yeah, we're bearish. Entry will be invalidated. We can see that this entry has been already invalidated. We can't take this. We're not gonna take this. By the looks, we're not. Okay, I think here we can still see something. How is the 30-minute looking like? We dropped into a fair value gap. Okay, candles closed slightly below. And yeah, since the candle now closed above the consequent encroachment, might have to target the highs there. And wait a minute, we have some news. What? Let's see if they have PMI. Anyways, yeah, that's my analysis. Risk 0.5. Let's push this and see how this goes. Well, you can see what happens after the news release. So it pushes high as we expected, but it doesn't reach the previous daily high. The drawn liquidity that we had targeted, it instead reacts on some kind of, is it another block or something else? There's some kind of OP in there that prevented us from hitting full TP, which was this previous day high. And I can see we're very, very close to stop loss. And we end up getting stopped out by the start of the next day. Wow. Anyways, not a bad one. Not a bad one. You can take this again and again. I'd like to remove all this. Okay, no need. Go to daily. So after that enormous push to the upside, consider we're now dropping. This day is Friday, last day of the week. And when I go to the weekly time frame, yeah, it's going to push us back into the range. That's what we would like to see. So by pushing us into the range, I mean it's taking out some buy side and pushing higher. Ordinary, sanctuary. Okay, so we take out the previous day low and the Asian lows, and boom, we drop by the London Open. This is a really crazy drop. So any entry here would only be based off of OTE, high to low. Not, it hasn't even rebalanced yet, so no entry. Okay, you have news here. What kinds of news are these? This is an FP, I think, because it's the first day. And from payrolls, that's why it's really, really crazy. Takes out the lows and takes out the highs. This is massive. Anyways, I remove this. And I just like to go to the next day open. Yeah, let's skip Sunday. Got the next day open right here on Monday. And when you go to the weekly, you can see that I think the weekly was about to end bullish. Remove the drawings. You can see how this week, this last week, we were saying that it would close in the range. It pushed higher because of NFP, and we started a new week on here. Now I'd just like to see it on the daily. Daily dropped, pushed higher, dropped, didn't close below here, which means there's a possibility to just consider this as a sweep and push to the upside. So we'll keep that in mind as we analyze. First off, we have this sweep as well, as you can see. Just want to see a shift, target these highs. So that shift hold on the lower time frame would now be a liquidity target. So now I'll go to the 15 and I'll be observing what's happening with price. Okay, so London opens and takes out the Asia highs and together with the previous day high, and yeah, we already have our market shift in there on 30 minutes. You can see that, yeah, after this sweep you can expect any other one to happen just so recently like that, and with our target being these lows that were building up there, I would like to see it push. All right, that's it. 15, we got the 15 now. See, dropped into the fair value gap. I'd like to see us reject. Yeah, that's nice, but we don't have a sweep yet. Maybe let's see if we can take out these lows, because that sweep here isn't the one that we're waiting for. A sweep that will happen on Friday. So let's see if we can get one. Okay, now let's see if this is something valid. For this day, I don't think there's an entry here, except if you go by this OTE entry and target the previous day high, which will give you something like this. Liquidity is there, stop loss right here, but I don't think I will take that one. Let's see how the next day opens. So you can see how clean Asia looks like. Asia pushes higher and takes out the previous day high. Wow. Well, didn't take this trade, but it's looking nice. And good fact is that it took just 8 hours, and which is also overnight for our time here, and I wouldn't mind that. Okay, so Asia pushes really high, pushes us really high. In London, okay, I'd like to go to 5 now. London drops into the Asia low. Hmm. So New York is really behaving choppy. We have a set of relatively equal highs there. Maybe this news will take them out. Tuesday, no entry as well. Don't think we'll find any entry in here. So we can see market not dropping. We might have had it badly because there was yawning, which means we can still have this sell side standing. So we'll be back after this short break and Yeah, stay tuned. We are back with the break. Okay, I'm going to be backtesting another pair. Let's see the pairs we have. USD card. I'm coming for you, USD card. Right, so USD card is was a bit bearish these last weeks and tried to push higher. So you have, I can see you have pools of liquidity resting here and this high because market moves from liquidity to liquidity like just that. So we have this high, good liquidity target there. This is good buy side. Have sell side. Now with the daily, can see that after the taking out this was the most recent high shift, which means that this is now bullish. But after you can see that we didn't fully close here, which means we might fully close or even drop. But I think we're about to fully close since we have a good reaction on this order block. Right, so what do we see on the 4 hour? Took out a really crucial low, a really crucial low. Really, when I go to the 1 hour, I can also see something which is we have to rebalance this move and return to OTE. I think it also coincides with the fair value gap from the 4 hour. Where did it go? I want it from here to here. Yeah. Okay, so I want it, to drop into at least this fair value gap before we can enter. So now I've got the sorry. I'd also like to mark this OTE level, which means that will be our target to drop there, and then our next trade we push higher. So now I'll go to the 1 hour. We also have a great pool of liquidity resting there. We would like to go to the next day open. Okay, good. You can see that there's nothing much. We failed to push above that high. So I'd just like to target that the OTE level resting down there. Okay, so the moment Asia closes, you can see that we start to drop by small bits, take out the equal lows. Didn't get any retracement so far, and we push high into some kind of order block. Okay, now New York brings in the shift. Is this like some kinds of news at 10? Can see how crazy it pushes. And wait a minute, we can notice something. Why didn't we notice it earlier? Maybe we have to train our eyes. But you can see that we took up this low. We shifted structure. Maybe it's because we are looking for signs to go lower, but we shifted structure